book 5 stars. I really, really enjoyed it. It was a little bit devastating, I'm not going to lie. The book does have suicidal themes, so if you're easily affected, you might not want to read it. But I think it's more of an uplifting book rather than a sad book. But I do say it's very realistic, so go into that with that mindset. But it is told from a silly perspective. It follows these cute characters, Violet and Finch, who meet on a rooftop, and they're both kind of contemplating suicide, and it kind of follows their journey throughout it. And it basically takes place over a spring semester at school, so they're both graduating and thinking about college and where they want to go and what they want to do with their lives. They're both kind of in a holding pattern. Finch is kind of obsessed with suicide, and Violet is just kind of reeling and trapped since her sister's death about a year ago. She hasn't been able to do anything or make any progress. And everyone else is kind of pushing Violet to do all these new things, and she's kind of stagnant. And it's not till she meets Finch and she experiences life through him that I think she really kind of gets her kickstart back and wants to live life. I think that that's a really interesting way to do it, because Finch is really the catalyst for a lot of things that occur in Violet's life. And I don't think without Finch, I don't think any of those things would have happened. And I think the book would have been a lot different than what it became. But I think that Finch really was the catalyst for this book, and Violet was just kind of along for the ride. But I liked how there was like a scavenger hunt aspect. Like they had this project, they had to find all these wonders in Illinois where they live, because most of them were leaving at the end. They were all going to college and stuff. I thought that was really interesting. So that scavenger hunt really was intrigued me, and I want to know like where they went. There's a lot of like book related things that I like, so I'm such a book reader. If you guys are too, I highly recommend you read it. It's like it has like a bunch of like book related places that I was like, I want to know if they're real because they sound so interesting. But yeah, it was really, really unique and a really, really different way to tell a story. I haven't read a suicide theme book in like a really, really long time, but I liked it. It was a little bit crushing at points, but other than that, it was really good. And I like this book because there was never like a label about what was wrong with either of these characters. It was just that's how they lived, that's what was going on. And I think that sometimes in society we label everything like, oh, you're suicidal, oh, you're bipolar, oh, you're manic depressive. But this book, there was no labels, and I thought that was so intriguing to me because you never really knew what was going on. But looking at it, I just kind of wanted to know what was going on with Finch. I wanted to know like what was the matter with him, why he was doing, like why he was acting like that. And I never kind of got my answer, but that's okay. I don't always have to have my answer. I just wanted to know. But yeah, it was such a strongly book. It was heartfelt, and it had like a lot of interesting things. Like Finch is just such a quirky guy that like he made me intrigued to know what had happened to him and his family and all the drama that was going on. But you definitely saw the difference between Violet's and Finch's life. How different their home environments really did affect what was going on with them. Violet had a very, very strong home, and her parents were actively involved. That, I think, affected her a lot. And then you had Finch, whose mom just was not there, and his dad really wasn't there. And I think that really affected it. So I think for me, it also depends like how different they took the concept of death and the concept of suicide in this book, and how that really did affect them. And, it wasn't a happy ending. And I think that sometimes, unfortunately, in life, we don't always get a happy ending. And I think that if you're really, for me, I think it was a very interesting way to tell a story. And I liked the relationship between them. I liked how Vince just kept pushing and pushing and pushing. And Violet finally got what she wanted. I love the presence of the online magazine. That was so important for me because I wanted her to be able to find her ability to write and her ability to create again. I think that was really important to me. And I think she found it in such a unique way with different people than her sister, who obviously had passed away. But it was a very, very strong book. If you guys want me to do a more detailed discussion, please comment below. I will be happy to do it. I just don't want to spoiler anyone about the end because I think it was a little bit surprising for me especially. But as always, look at my Goodreads, Twitter, book like, everything. But have a very nice day, everyone.